Hello trail travelers, it is Carrie, and today we have a pretty long drive today. First, we're going up Webster Pass. That is just outside of Montezuma, Colorado. So you actually can just put your GPS on Montezuma, Colorado, and then keep going until you see this sign. So we're gonna go Webster Pass. That'll take us to the top of Webster Pass. From there, we're going to go down Radical Hill. That's a pretty crazy little set of switchbacks. Then we're going to go up Red Cone, go down Red Cone, and instead of coming back on Webster Pass, we're going to take St. John back, which will put us back into Montezuma. So it's going to be a fairly long day today, but we should have some amazing sights. There was a little bit of rain this morning, which is awesome because it was so smoky from the California fires. So that all that smoke coming in here, it is absolutely gorgeous today, and it knocked all the dust off the trees. It's going to be a beautiful day. So stay right there. We'll be right back. All right, we are starting off here on Webster Pass. Got tires aired down, and like normal for us, we are down to 14 psi in the back, 15 in the front, mostly just to give us a nice, smooth, comfortable ride over the rocky surfaces. And this does get a little rocky in certain spots, so we want the most comfortable ride possible. We're not going to really need extra grip or anything today, but this is going to be about comfort today on the rocky surfaces. Looks like it is going to be a bit muddy. It did get rain last night, so unfortunately I did wash the Jeep yesterday, which is what caused it, I'm sure. And we'll head up to the pass, and we're going to have some fun today. All right, at the 1.4 mile mark, we have our deepest water crossing that we have to do. It's not very deep today, so we're just gonna be able to cruise right through it. And come out on the other side. And now we start kind of going uphill a little bit. Now, if you would have stayed on the road that was down there, and it's hard to see that post there, it says Trail 327. You can take that, but it's going to dead end, I think 2 miles in or something, at the ruins of the Climax Mine. So when you get to that fork in the road, you're going to make a right to go over the water and start climbing up the hill on 285. So keep that in mind. Stay on 285. Do not go on 327. All right, we are making some progress here. As I said, this is a very bumpy, rocky road on this side. Now, what we're gonna do is, we're going to start going up, I guess you would say the front side of Radical Hill. Now this section, this side of it, which you can see right in front of us there, I mean, this is pretty easy, but it's the other side of Radical Hill that gets a little crazy. So we will be getting to that shortly. So yeah, that's going to be where things get a bit radical. So here we've got this kind of confluence here of a couple trails. We want to stay to the left, again staying on 285. So yeah, you can definitely cruise around here for probably a couple days on all the different trails, but we're trying to get you, through this particular trail here without too many detours. So 285 it is, and we're going to continue on Radical Hill. But when you get to this kind of log fence here, you have about a mile to go before you reach the summit of Radical Hill and Webster Pass. Now, Webster Pass does have a long, rich history. Dates back, like most of these passes, into the 1800s, and was used for hauling different types of product up and down the hills, getting people over the passes. And like some of them, which is actually kind of strange, these were toll roads at one point. So don't imagine they had little fast passes back then to make it easier, but yep, you had to pay a toll to get up and over this and get to the other side. It just always boggles my mind, the vehicles and horse-drawn carriages and other things that people must have taken up here in the past. That had to be pretty crazy, because it's really easy in a Jeep or a side-by-side or something, but you just see how rough these roads are. Got to give a lot of respect out to the people from the past who used to make this trek. All right, we are approaching the summit here at Webster Pass. We are 12,100 feet right now and making our way. We're going to be going down Radical Hill here in just a few minutes, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But right in front of us, that's Red Cone. So we're going to be coming down that as we finish the trail. So we are still just getting started here on today's adventure. All right, we are starting our descent on Radical Hill, and this is the point where things get a little dicey, because there's really not enough room for passing on here. So we want to start off going very, very slow around this corner to see if anybody's coming, to decide if we need to back out and let them come by. Now, fortunately, there's nobody coming, so we're going to be good to go. And in fact, I don't see anybody other than another Jeep that is descending down there. So we should be in good shape as we go down Radical Hill. Well, what do you think of it so far?
I think after Ouray trip and all those passes, it's like nothing to worry about.
This is a piece of cake after Imogene and Black Bear.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. You were just teasing, like, oh, what am I talking about?
Yeah. A lot of off-roading comes down to getting used to something, right? The first time you do a 35-degree, descent, it's terrifying. But then you get to the point where you're like, it's only 35, I'm good. And same with your rolls. Now, here, you do need to be careful, because what some people tend to do is drive up on the passenger side here, on the mountain side versus the cliff side. And they do that because they're getting scared of being too close to the edge. Well, look out your window. See how far away you are from the ledge. If you are basically flat on this road, you're safe. But if you go up on that, that is really, really steep, and you are just going to flop over. Now, you probably won't have enough momentum to roll and roll all the way down, but tipping on your side right here is a major problem to get recovered. It's going to be, you know, a day-long process. Now, what will get you a little bit is some of the dips here that will dip the driver's side down and feel really weird, or the bumps and rocks that are on the passenger side that'll make it bounce up in that direction. So just take it slow. There's no need to rush going down a shelf road like this. Just to give you a little perspective on who has the better view right now. Passenger side, I'm just looking up this big old pile of rocks. But I'm going to swing around here so you can see out of Katarina's view, because she's driving right now. I'll stick this out of the driver window and look at this. What an incredible view the driver has on this trail. Now, that being said, if you're the driver, please keep your eyes on the road.
What are you trying to say? I have two eyes. I can keep one eye on the road, one eye around.
Yeah, like Katarina said, doing this shelf road here on Radical Hill, having just done Imogene Pass, Engineer Pass, Black Bear Pass, those are insane shelf roads. They're much, much narrower. When you go around the switchbacks, you have pitch and roll that you're dealing with. They feel way sketchier. This, as your first significant shelf road, is going to feel a little scary. But as you do more and more of these types of things, or once you do something harder, like those trails in Ouray or Telluride, yeah, this becomes kind of a walk in the park here. Another little water crossing here, and we're going to follow the stream down, and all of a sudden it has started raining on us. We went from clear blue skies coming in to all of a sudden we are in the rain, and thank goodness we're down off of Radical Hill. I would not have wanted to do that in the rain, just in case those rocks started getting slick. So we have a couple choices up here. We can either exit and go out Handcart Gulch and get back to the highway, or we can see how this weather holds and see if it just blows over and try and go up Red Cone. So we'll see how things progress here as we move down the trail a couple more miles before we make that decision, but we're gonna have to make the decision that's the best and safest for us, whichever that is. All right, we are continuing to make our way down, and this is a really cool little spot where kind of the river gets up onto the road here, and you're driving in the water a little bit. A little chance to clean your tires off and get them nice and slick before trying to do anything. But it shouldn't be too bad. It just runs right off right here, and then you're back into some small rocky stuff that you shouldn't have any problem with traction on. Just kind of power right through it. You won't have any problems. And onward from here. Yes, I did have to put the camera inside the Jeep for a while because it was raining pretty bad, and with the microphone and USB cables, the Osmo Action is not waterproof when it's all opened up like that. So just to keep things from getting too crazy with the camera, I decided to bring it back into this old view that some of you older viewers or longtime viewers may be a little familiar with. Take note as you're driving through here with this water that it tends to have a color to it, often a coppery golden color. This is because of chemicals from the mines, and that's where some of this water is draining from. So do not let your animals drink it. It is not good for them at all. Clear water, not so bad, but anytime you're in these mining districts and you have this colored water, it's best to keep your animals away from them. Katerina is driving over here. Say hi, Katerina. Hi, there she is. Notice her lack of attention is due to the crazy amount of mushrooms in the area.
Look.
Oh my gosh.
Look. How can I not to look?
Can you guys see that mushroom right there?
Destruction.
It's absolutely humongous. Now through this last section here, before you reach the southern trailhead, it can get very narrow. Very narrow. And this is two-way traffic. You'll get a lot of side-by-sides, Jeeps, 4Runners, you name it, motorcycles. Everyone and their brother is going both directions on this road. So keep in mind the last spot that was wide enough for you to pull out on in case you need to back up, and keep an eye out ahead for potential spots to pull out on if there's oncoming traffic. So sometimes it's easier for you to back up, sometimes it's easier for someone else to back up. But if you're paying attention to what's, the different spots and kind of keeping, in your head where the last spot was, then you know if you should go forward or go backwards. But this is a beautiful area, tons of aspen trees through here. We got the river down by the side almost the whole time. Just a really, really beautiful trail. Now this is the turn to go up Red Cone, and so we're gonna do a little decision making here because of the current rain. And well, Katerina is making a left here, so I guess we're going up Red Cone.
Are we not?
It's up, yep, go right ahead. It stopped raining, so I think we're good.
The sky is blue. Another Jeep ahead.
So we've been in 4 low for a while, so climbing this is going to be pretty easy. I'm going to disable the sway bar so we have a little bit more articulation, and we're going to start working our way up Red Cone. Now this, for some maps, it may still say Webster Pass, it may say Red Cone Pass, it may say Red Cone, it still may say Radical Hill, but I consider this to be part of the Red Cone Loop. So once you come out of Radical Hill, you come down to this area, and now we're going to loop all the way back to Webster Pass from here. So things are going to get kind of fun. There's a couple fun obstacles on here, and we're going to explore Red Cone because Katarina's never been here before. All right, now we're on kind of the backside, going through some switchbacks to climb altitude quickly, going up to Red Cone Pass. The trail on this side is a little bit smoother. There's more soil on the ground, so there's, I guess it's less rough than the other side. But what you do have on this side are tree roots. And so you don't want to hit those too fast or you can go bouncing pretty good. And today there's quite a few water puddles, and one of them at least was actually pretty deep. And if you would have hit that at speed, it would not have been good for you. So we're just climbing our way up, and when we kind of get out of the switchbacks, then we'll start a long climb up to the top of Red Cone. Now we're going to start climbing the back side of Red Cone. We got a nice big hill climb up here, and then we're going to be up on the top of the ridge for a while, and then eventually coming down on Red Cone.
And sit in between, right?
Look at this view. This is pretty amazing today. There's only a tiny amount of smoke up here like we've seen in recent weeks. So we got some good visibility. We've had a little bit of rain, which has helped wash it out a little bit. So been fantastic for the views that we've had today. And over on our left, from here we can see the trail that's going to go up to the top of Red Cone. We see those red or reddish hills kind of in front of us now. So this section is extremely rocky. It will beat you up pretty good. And then it should get a little sandier as we go up the hill. If I remember right, it's been a while, but I'm hoping, because it is just super rough. We are coming up on kind of the peak of the first hill here. Now it's where things start feeling a little dicey for some people. As you can see, kind of up ahead there a little bit, it's not just a shelf road, it's kind of a double shelf road. It's quite the drop off on both sides. Yeah. Yeehaw! Awesome. So just as we pass some people, he yells out, "Hey, I watch your YouTube." Well, we definitely like seeing people on the trails. That's what we do this for, is to help educate, entertain, and help keep people safe out on the trails. So if you see us, say hey, we definitely appreciate it. And let's get some pictures with you, in your rig. We're all about, the community. And oh my gosh, look at this view down there. You probably should stop driving if you're going to take a look at this. Look at that, honey.
I'm looking.
Wow.
That's so cool. And we were just there on the...
Yep.
Nice.
Now, for some reason, there's a vehicle at the top of the hill that's not in a spot that he should be. So we're going to play the safety game here and wait for that FJ to get out of the way so that we can climb up there. It seems like quite a few people have stopped and parked up there right now. So we want to make sure that there's plenty of room for us to get up there safely. This is just one of those areas that when you're out here and you see this vastness of space and these hills and everything, it's just so hard to believe that this is so close to town. I mean, now this is 2 hours from our house, but it's a lot closer to like Denver metro area. I mean, we're about an hour north of Denver, so it does take us a little bit longer to get down to a spot like this. Okay, so we're leaving that little overlook point, and it is a pretty steep drop coming out of that. So you definitely want to make sure that you're in a low gear. So we're in 4 low, and Katarina's just kind of crawling here in manual 1. Now she might have to tap the brakes a few times here and there, but the engine braking is going to keep us from going too fast down this hill. The last thing you want to do is ride your brakes. Now, when you have multiple vehicles, I always like to space them out the entire length of this hill. And the reason being is if there's a problem, if someone loses their brakes or something, then you're not barreling into the person in front of you. Now, this isn't nearly as steep as it used to be, but it is still pretty darn steep, and should you have a brake problem, you are going to go flying down this hill. So keep it in that low gear, keep your separation, and it's going to be a fun ride. Okay, we are heading out of Webster Pass now, and you're going to get to this Y intersection up here. If you take the right, you are continuing on Webster Pass back into town. If you make a left, you're going up the other side of Radical Hill, which gets its name for a reason. And then once you're over that, you'll be on St. John, which is a fairly easy trail. Now, that Radical Hill does have some rocky spots. It has some ledges to climb. It's got some fun little obstacles on it, but you're doing that on a shelf road. So might be a little too sketch for some people. All right, we're coming up on that intersection up ahead here that is going to go right to go back into town or left to go up St. John. And like I said, we're going to go left. We are working our way. I say we, when actually it's Katarina is doing the driving. She's working our way up this side of Radical Hill. This is definitely a fun little section here. Not for everybody. And turns out that the people I was help guiding out came down this way, which is why they didn't want to go back this way. Okay, gonna back up and get a little momentum going. Okay. be in manual 1. Okay. Hit it. There you go. You're gonna climb right up it. There you go. Now this probably, I say probably, I'm pretty confident this will be the hardest trail that Katarina has driven so far. There. Little driver, right there. Okay, passenger, right there. Climb it, climb it. Good. Okay, passenger. Okay, driver. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Go. Yes. Okay, unlock is off. All right, we have the rock garden here. There are some good size rocks here, and as you move up they get a little bit bigger. So the strategy here is to put your tires on the big rocks so that you don't scrape your diff on the stuff in the middle. Now, one problem right now is we have water flowing down here, and so the rocks are kind of slippery, and not every plan is working out perfectly as we slide off the rocks. So just go straight. You're perfect, good, perfectly straight. You have two big rocks on either side. They're gonna go up on them, and we're just gonna go right on over. Yep. Okay, you're on the passenger side one. Now you're on the driver's side one. Oopsie. That's what rock sliders are for. So here you'll find a little Y intersection, and to continue on the road, you would go right. But I told Katarina to make a left here because there's a little object of interest, I would say, right here. As we come around this turn, you'll see this old building. Now you can see this pretty easily if you're coming the opposite direction, but as you're going up the hill, it could be pretty easy to miss this. So we just have this old wooden structure here. But this could be a good place to take a little breath or have lunch, whatever you're kind of into. But I just wanted to include it on our tour here. Somebody definitely chose a spot with some amazing views.
Oh yeah. That radical hill down, right? Yeah.
That's part of Red Cone over there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I radical hill behind this guy. Yeah.
All right, so now we can just make a turn here on this kind of roundabout section and head back up or keep heading back up Radical Hill. How you feeling so far?
Not Radical Hill.
This is part of Radical Hill.
Not, so you said John? What is?
We're going to Saint John, but this is part of Radical Hill.
Okay. If you say so.
That's what all the maps say.
I am so confused already. Who is who?
Are you? What do you like? Well, how do you like the drive? I mean, it's difficult, right?
I am enjoying it. It's challenging, but if you like use your common sense and knowledge from such a great teacher, then then you're good.
Just keep those lines. Make sure you understand how much clearance you have. Put the tires on the bigger rocks so that you don't scrape your diffs, and it shouldn't be too hard. Now, this is a fairly challenging section through here.
I see. There is the road even here?
Yeah, there is road ahead, but this is definitely a tricky section through here. And again, it's just picking your lines and try not to scrape your bottom on stuff. Now, fortunately for us, we're on 38-inch tires. We really are not going to have a clearance problem through here. But just in terms of good practice, we're going to drive it as if we had smaller tires so that we just don't get complacent in choosing our lines. We want to make sure that we always take good lines and make sure we're protecting the underbody of the Jeep. Okay, we are doing great right now, and there is a spot up here with some serious pucker factor, as it's a pretty steep tilt to driver from our perspective, with a little bit of a washout. So your tires are going to drop into it a little bit, and it's going to feel really tippy for a moment. But the best thing is just kind of drive through it, but don't go up on the passenger side here. Don't climb up the hill. It's far better for you to just try and keep it as flat as possible. Katarina's looking at it. She's driving through it. Yep, that feels pretty tippy, 23 degrees, and then you come right out of it. So there you go.
What is a hood?
That's the worst part of the trail right there. Okay, you can level us out by going driver.
Not really.
But now you're going to start coming out of it.
Why were so tippy?
24 degrees.
Freaking tippy.
I know. So you want to take this really slow. You don't power through it. You just take it nice and easy. You don't want body rolled. You don't want your suspension bouncing. You just want to take it nice and easy. And boom. Right now, we're through the worst part of this entire trail.
Here is a tip. If you look through the window and watch your tires where they are, then you don't realize how tippy you are, because you don't see the other side, and you're done.
Yeah. All Trails describes this section as narrow shelf. That it is. It is very narrow. It can be tippy. It can be rocky. What you do not want to do is stop. You want to keep moving. Keep the momentum going so that it'll carry you over the smaller obstacles, and just keep going. The worst thing you can do is stop, except for the fact we have mountain goats directly in front of us. So don't hit the mountain goats. So we're peeking out here, which is good. And now we can take it nice and slow, and I'll get a good shot of these mountain goats.
There is more ahead. Look.
Oh my
look,
gosh.
Look. There is more ahead.
Yep.
They're everywhere. And they're everywhere over there too. To the left.
Look at this. Look at the little baby guys.
Oh.
What a treat that was. While seeing mountain goats up here is not uncommon, it's not something that happens every time you come up here. So it is definitely a nice little treat. And to see this many of them up close and personal, that was something. So now we are kind of on the easy stretch here on Radical Hill, and we are going to work our way over to St. John. Okay, now we're wrapping up the second Radical Hill portion, and now it's time to head on to St. John. Not St. John's, Saints with an S, John without an S, St. John. And that is going to be to the left. So that's what we're going to do up here. Again, as I said earlier, there are definitely tons of trails around here. Deer Creek will also take you back to Montezuma if you want to do that. We're just going to take a slightly different route and come in the very back side of it. Yeah, at this intersection, we're going to go to the right to stay on 275. The road to the left is unmarked, and that's usually not a good sign of it going anywhere. Usually even they'll say dead end if it's going to go back for a ways, so you know that maybe it's worth checking out. But this one, there's not even a single sign on it, and the people who have done it say it's not really interesting. So it's 275 as it is, as we work our way continuing down St. John. Well, that was an amazing trip today. We went to Montezuma. From Montezuma, we went to Webster Pass. From Webster Pass, we went down Radical Hill. After that, we went up Red Cone, and then you go down Red Cone. And then we went up the other side of Radical Hill, which is even, to me, it's harder than the Radical Hill right there at Webster Pass. So now we go back up Radical Hill, and then from there we cut over to St. John. That's what we did. So it was a huge day of wheeling, a lot of fun, tons of props to Katarina. She drove all day today, and she did all the obstacles. She did everything. She knocked it out of the park. It was a blast. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for all kinds of more adventures here at Trail Traveler. Really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Stay safe out there. We'll see you on the trail.